Welcome to Dying to Know, where we open up about everything that comes with losing a loved one.
Because the only thing that's worse than death is not being able to talk about it.
We're your bereavement babes, Leah and Rachel, and today we're talking about acceptance.
Hey, Leah.
Hi, Rachel.
What is one thing you're accepting today?
The tone of my voice. I think it's always been an insecurity. So I usually speak at a very loud volume, and most of the women in my family do. So I get it naturally.
But
but
not alone.
Exactly. But I feel like sometimes when I'm talking or I'm excited and someone might be like, oh, shh, like be quiet or like lower your voice. And I'll be like, I'm trying. Like, I'm just not aware. I'm genuinely not aware. I'm not trying to scream at somebody.
Yeah.
What's something that you're accepting?
I think for today also, my hair.
Okay.
You can't control it, but I still love it.
I mean, if we're talking about today, I forgot my makeup bag today. I forgot my jewelry bag today.
It work.
But I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
And we're going to talk lower.
Exactly. It's like an ASMR chill episode. So acceptance, as we've been doing the last few episodes, we're going to go into a definition. So acceptance is a noun. It's the action of consenting to receive or undertake something offered. So I feel like when it comes to grief, acceptance, we had to undertake, I think we're the latter part of it, undertake something offered, because obviously we didn't consent to anyone dying in our lives. And I'm sure if it was up to us or anyone else in the world, people just wouldn't die. We would just be overpopulated and we would meet our whole like lineage and ancestors. But unfortunately that doesn't happen. So I feel like we just had to undertake something that was offered to us. So how do you feel about the stage of acceptance and grief? Like, any thoughts? Did you learn anything while we were doing some research here?
What I did learn from research is, I guess, the acceptance kind of, I don't want to say definition, because again, we don't know everything. We're not professionals, but it's accepting your new reality. You're accepting your reality of like what you're living in now and accepting that you can't go back. Like you can't go back to your old life. And I feel like if someone would have been like, okay, these are the 5 stages of grief, like, have you like hit acceptance yet? I've been like, no, like I fully understand that my dad passed and like I can't go back to that. But as researching and realizing that stages look different on everyone, I think my biggest acceptance was not being able to go back to my old life, and not in the sense of my dad, but almost in the sense of my emotions, where like I remember
the old life?
I feel like everything was just chill and calm, and I could be like even keeled, where I remember having a conversation with a friend and I'm like, my highs, I'm either super, super happy and having a good day, or I'm super, super low and it's just bad days. Like it just felt like I couldn't ever be like even keeled. Like the happies, like it was a great day, but that means like the next day was gonna be like super, like it just felt like nothing was in balance. And thanks to this great friend, like I feel like it also helped really push me to go and like start really seeking out professional help. Again, it just felt like I couldn't get myself out of this. So shout out to the Lucan Center, where I do go now, and I feel like that was me finally accepting, like, okay, like you're not, the old life is a distant friend now. Let's see how we can get to a better future. Do
you feel like the center and like the help that you seeked, do you feel a little bit more even in life now? Do you?
I finally cry in front of a stranger or my therapist. So it is, I always recommend therapy because I feel like they do give you the safe space. But I think over the years of going towards it or going to it has definitely helped me. Like, I enjoy and understand the happy days. And then I also understand that the sad days, like, aren't going to last. That you're going to have, it's like I have my mediocre days again. It's very nice. So I feel like that has been my acceptance journey, where I almost don't even feel like it's a stage. It's like a full-on journey.
Nice. Okay. I mean, obviously you're living life, so you'll still have low days or like bad days. But do you like seek more gratitude in things, even if they go left? I've been trying to like be mindful and practice that. Like today, for instance, forgetting everything, like it's okay, like it's not that serious, you know. Do you try to do that to like curb your mindset?
100%. Because I also feel like just reading about grief and everything like that, there's been people who are like, I don't want to become a bitter person. So I feel like it's taken moments where I'm realizing like I like instead of wishing my dad could be here, I'm like he's in me. So like when I'm traveling or when I'm doing something, like he gets to see it with me now, which I feel like has been a new journey for me. Or even the yoga retreat I went on, the yoga instructor Natalie, she at one point we're like on a boat in the Greek Sea, and she's just like, everyone like sit and take a snapshot of this, like take a mental snapshot so you can remember like this moment. And I feel like for me, I've been forgetful. I don't know if you've been feeling this where I'm like, I can't remember like things with my dad. So I feel like more and more I've been trying to like, this is a beautiful moment. Like, let me take that mental snapshot of it.
Yeah.
So I feel like I can remember these. I have these moments and I'm feeling a little more grateful. So I'm trying to, keep it going and like, I guess, enjoy life again. Because I know that's what my dad would want. Like,
Absolutely.
as sick as he was, always tried to make the most out of his life. So I want to be able to like keep carrying that.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is hard. So I'm thankful for every Thursday when I go to therapy to like just have that reminder to me.
Oh, okay. I think that's just a good reminder for anybody, like just to be present and live in the moment. I think a lot of times, like even in life, no matter what your goal is or how you're working towards something, you kind of have like tunnel vision.
Yeah.
And then a lot of things is like hustle and bustle. And like we feel as humans, we need to be busy, or you hit certain ages where you're like, at this age, I should have had this, so I should be hustling a little harder. But it's good to have moments to sit in like gratitude or just to ground yourself, and just like how the lady instructed you on the boat to just like take a picture, remember this, how do you feel, what's going through your head, and that specifically that your dad is with you experiencing these things like in a spirit, like supernatural spiritual way than his physical body like being here.
Yeah, like truly accepting where you are like right now.
Yes.
No matter what it might look like.
Yeah. So for acceptance for me, it usually is listed in the stages as like the last.
Yes.
Which I feel like it could be the last stage. I mean, we talked about it not being in any particular order, but
I feel like it makes sense.
Yeah.
Or like why written out it makes sense.
Exactly. Or I just can't imagine like if someone were to get news like that, then their first but it could happen. I mean, everyone's different.
Yeah.
Of just being like even Stevens, just like, okay, I accept that. Like most of the time is shocked and denial and other things that go on. And also realize it's not necessarily like the happy stage either.
Yeah.
So I feel like when people hear acceptance, they just make assumptions that like, oh, that means like, you know what, so-and-so is dead, and then that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more to like, it's just a little bit more deeper than that. Like I feel like the known saying, like it's better to have loved than lost than to never loved at all.
Yeah.
So it's more of a like reflection and gratitude moment, the way I feel about acceptance and how I experienced it, of just like, at least I had a father, at least, he was present, he was great. I grew up in the household with him, and I saw how he loved my mom, and, they had years of marriage together, and I got to learn from him. And like, I have moments where it was just me and him that like other people don't know this story.
Yeah,
so
of course.
I think in general that just is beautiful in itself. And I've accepted that. And I know in a previous episode, I spoke about like death just being hard in general because it's very final. And like knowing that even his physical presence is gone, that he's with me spiritually, and all of us, and looking over the family, but also that I believe that I will see him again, not on this side, but
yeah, eventually you'll be together.
Exactly. We'll meet again. And that gives me like hope and acceptance to just be like, okay, on earth, it won't happen, but like in heaven, I'm going to see you, No,
and I also feel like in researching this, one of the biggest kind of things, and everyone like phrase it differently, but like if you're feeling grief, that means someone so loved has passed. And I thought that was beautiful because it's just like, grief is hard for us, but it also means that there was so much care, so much emotions with that person that you're feeling this loss. So it's just like, don't also forget all the love that's been put behind it. And grief is showing that there was so much love in you that it's coming out in a whole different form, which I feel like was a nice way to kind of almost frame grief.
Yes. Yeah. I went to this like event, and they were saying, everything you love in this life, you will lose.
Which, oh my God.
And I was like, wow. And like, I think a lot of times when like, my father had first died, I think a lot of people, I felt like I was just like, I accepted it like too soon almost, that it even felt weird for me.
Because you're just like, okay, this happened.
Yeah. So like other things in life didn't feel too big, or I'm like, if I can get through this, and I know I can get through X, Y, and Z, or other like traumatic life experiences. And I used to say like, oh, losing my dad has made death easier. But I think that's the wrong like phrase. I think when you lose someone so close, it's a sobering moment. So I feel like because that has happened, it sobered me up to realize like, one, I'm going to lose everyone that I love, and everyone that loves me is going to lose me. So it's more of just like being present, like you said, living in the moment, grounding yourself. And I try to like pay a close attention, like not to be on my phone. If we go to dinner, like put it on D&D and like give everyone their proper time, because I really, cherish people. And just like you said, grief, when people die, like grief is because you really love them.
Yeah, which I also feel like it's even like helped us, where it's just like, you want to know what, the vision board class isn't corny.
Yeah.
Or you want to know what, like Leah, you said you love sound baths, like let's do the sound baths, where I feel like it's also pushed me to think of my future a little bit more, to think about what I really want a little bit more, like what I would want my dad to see a little bit more, where it's just like how you said, like you want everything to like be shown and feel that kind of way, where I feel like it's also accepting, like, it's okay to try new things and do new things and appreciate, like, things to, like, plan more and just kind of get it all out there.
Yeah, I think you, like, live a little bit more out loud.
Yes.
Like, things that you might have just been like, it's a guilty pleasure. It's like, I don't care anymore.
You want to know how you said it's all going to be gone one day.
It's all going to be gone one day. And, like, I know I joke a lot about the environmental issues that we had here. Like, none of us are getting out alive. So, like, it's no need to, like, hide interest or like explore things that you always wanted to do. So like go out and do it. But I feel like that one moment that like took place during the early parts of my grieving, I know we both had really close cousins that feel like sisters to us that got married like months after our dads had passed. And right after my cousin's wedding, we had planned, well, it felt like a lot of, which is interesting too. I feel like maybe we could do like an episode or something about it. That after my dad had passed, a lot of people were like, y'all should go on vacation together. Like as a family. Did you get that a lot? Or hear that at all?
Us as a family kind of like put pressure on it to almost like get away from the house.
Yeah.
And I guess I can like let you finish, but I know like it was very mixed feelings in our house.
Okay.
And I can explain after, but not so much all of us, but I feel like my mom was like, maybe we should go somewhere.
Yeah, I felt like that was a big chunk of advice a lot of people gave us, like, you all should go somewhere. And like, and I guess because it's a big life-changing moment. So when you think of relaxation and things of that, you're like, I should go on a vacation.
Yeah.
So we ended up, because all of us were home for my cousin's wedding, we ended up going on vacation the next day. And it wasn't the best family vacation, but I think it was eye-opening to see the role that my dad played in the family.
Yeah.
So, like, when one person is missing, it's like, but they'll, like, eventually come home or, like, something will happen. But as things were progressing on this trip and, like, you see how people, like, attitudes or just what they wanted to do or not do or, like, how arguments would, like, progress or like conversations.
Maybe your peacekeeper isn't there anymore.
So it was like, oh, the leader and the peacekeeper and the one who kept everyone,
decision maker.
Yeah, the decision maker, the one who was, like, even tone, the one who everyone listened to is no longer here. So it was a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
And I think it was in that moment where I was like, okay, like this is us going forward now.
Yeah. And I think it goes back to saying like, it's accepting your new life. It's accepting that it's never going to be your old life, like that normalcy that you used to feel.
Yeah.
And I think that, and I guess it coincides with shock because it's just like, for me, there was moments where I'm just like, oh, we're never going to feel like this same again.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a big, like, up until that point, like, I feel like I've had relatives who passed, but it was like older relatives where like they kind of teach you like eventually like people pass away, but it was just, this was the first time such a prominent figure in my life had passed. And I'm just like, are you sure? Like, you really, like, this really happens and there's nothing else you can do. So I feel like how you saying, like, it wasn't, I guess, the extreme of a vacation, but even, like, when we're trying to pick out takeout, like, no one wants the same thing. And there's just no one here that will, like, be like, this is where we're eating. Or I don't even like any of your options. We're getting burgers.
Yeah.
So I feel like we definitely feel something very similar where we don't have that, like, okay, head of the household.
Yeah. It's funny because my dad had a saying growing up. He didn't say it as much as me growing up, but more of my two older brothers. He would say, cut the mustard or lick the jar. Like, make a decision.
I love that.
Yes. So that was like his little thing. thing. And I'm like, sometimes I hear that in the back of my head, like, all right, a decision just needs to be made and someone needs to step up.
Yeah, no, I feel like, and I try my best to do it because I'm like, guys, we're getting
But
crazy.
no one's listening to me.
Yeah.
I'm the baby.
And
so
then
they're
we
like,
all
what?
have pizza for the next like 10 days because that's what you get in Jersey.
That's a fact. Today's episode is dedicated to my beautiful, Black, and intelligent father, Robert James Kinlaw, who would have been 73 on February 28th. Again, we are your bereavement babes, Leah and Rachel. Thank you for grieving with us.